Dr. Dan is back. Now the year can officially start. We love turning our attention to the great beyond, in fact, beyond the great frontier. For the last 30 years, a plan has been building to create the world's largest radio telescope called the Square Kilometer Array. Now, luckily for us, it's being co-hosted here in South Africa in the Karoo, and the infrastructure work at the site is set to start this year. This is massive for the scientific community here in South Africa and the world. And connecting with us to tell us more about the SKA's construction plan is science engagement astronomer from the South African Astronomical Observatory, Dr. Daniel Kanema, who's always looking at the sky. Dr. Dan, all the best for the new year, my friend. Great to be connecting with you. How are you, first of all?
I'm great, yeah. Thanks for having me back. It's good to be back, and Happy New Year to you too, and all the viewers.
They are watching, they are listening, because we are ready for some big advents on our calendar this year when it comes to the progression of astronomy. Now, what is the Square Kilometer Array at its heart, and how will it be the most advanced radio telescope in the world? What's going down, or going up, I should say?
Yeah, so it feels like we've been talking about the SKA for a long time. As you said, this was first conceived 30 years ago. So it has been a long time coming, but it is the largest, or one of the largest, science projects ever undertaken. It'll definitely be the largest radio telescope ever built. The current largest is Meerkat, which is our own 64-dish array, and the SKA will be adding to that. So we'll be adding an additional 130 dishes here in South Africa and across Africa at various partner countries. And then there'll be 130,000 small antenna, which you saw on the right of that picture, and they will be built in Western Australia. So it's a massive project. It spreads out across all of Africa in terms of the big dishes, and then all of Western Australia with a small antenna. And it'll be processing more data, than sort of global internet traffic in every day. So we're going to be collecting a huge amount of data about the early universe, about galaxies, and hopefully learning sort of things we never dreamed possible.
Discovering aliens is what you're saying. I always get the hidden meaning in your words, man. Discovering life on another planet. I get it. No, I'm joking. I know that our ability to process data has taken a quantum leap, excuse the pun, forward. So we're going to love getting all this new data. But it might be a silly question, and I'm accustomed to those. 30 years. Why has it taken us so long to get to this point? And how important is this for South Africa? Because surely this is massive for our scientific community.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So the first thing to note is that discovering life may be something that the SKA does.
Yeah.
It will be the most sensitive radio telescope ever. It'll be able to look deeper and further than ever before. So there is a chance we pick up some signals from another civilization, however small that chance is. And it's very small. But yeah, so why does it take 30 years? As I said, it was conceptualized 30 years ago. This idea that in order to push science forward and astrophysics forward, we needed to look closer back to the beginning of the universe. And in order to do that, you need to build radio telescopes. Optical telescopes and things just can't look that far back. So first the idea was conceptualized, and then that had to gain traction. So you need to work out the physics behind it, what we can do, what's possible, and then how do we do it? So we need to design the dishes. We need to test them. Here in South Africa, we've been building test dishes for 15 years now, slowly getting better until we got to Meerkat, which was a precursor to the SKA, and now we've kind of converged on a system which is going to work, and then it comes to finding the funding and putting the whole project together, forming the teams. So it takes a very long time, and it's massive that it's happening. The SKA was given the green light for construction in June last year, finally, and since then things have moved very, very quickly. There's a huge number of contracts which have been put out. I think at the latest count, over 27 contracts have been put out, large contracts for the development of the SKA. And for South Africa, a lot of those are infrastructure. We're hosting it. So, we need South Africans and South African companies to build roads, to lay fiber, to build the infrastructure that can support this. And that's a lot of money getting invested into the country.
Absolutely love it. And we've seen globally what having a collective focus, and obviously we've seen it in the medical sphere, what we can achieve, i.e. a vaccine in a record amount of time when you've got that amount of kind of will and focus in one area. So it'll be amazing to see what we achieve globally, collectively with this effort. So I'm guessing being based in the Karoo and the Outback means they need space and a clear sky, as little radio interference as possible to make it work. But I joke about life on other planets. That's obviously maybe 0.0001% of what we'll hope to find in this space. But what is the deal here? What are we looking for? When you say look back in time, how far back in time are we looking?
Yeah, so with the SKA, we're hoping to look back, to very near the beginning of the universe. So we'll be able to look at some of the early galaxies, and we'll be able to look at them. We can't look at them all evolving, but we can look at snapshots. So we can look at nearby galaxies, which are more evolved, and then very far galaxies, which are very early. And from that, we can piece together essentially how galaxies form and evolve. So that's one of the big science cases for SKA, is working out how galaxies form and evolve, and then within them, how planets and stars and things form and evolve, and how we get to the point where we are now. But there's a lot more than that too, because you can learn, about these black holes. You can learn about exoplanets. You can the amount of data and the diverse range of frequencies that we can look at with these telescopes means that we can really do a huge amount of science. And with the amount of data we have at the moment, we just don't have enough astronomers to get through all of the data. We're experiencing that with NEARCAT. So, it's an incredible telescope. It's been producing data and incredible science results very frequently. But we're already under a deluge of data, and we're just cherry picking for now. So there's going to be so much more to deal with in the future.
Oh man, we need more RAM. We need more RAM. We can do it, my friend. I know this is something very close to your heart because you do a lot of work inspiring us to get inspired about space and welcoming new young minds, fresh young minds into the space. So just imagine how many young people are going to be inspired to look up and look beyond because of what's happening, not somewhere else in the world, right here in South Africa. Dr. Dan, you've got the hairs on my arm standing on end as you always do, buddy. Great to connect with you again. All the best for this brand new year, possibly one of the most exciting in your career. So enjoy this final build towards creating something truly special and global, something that I think we as the South African scientific community can be incredibly proud of. Great to connect with you, my friend.
Yeah, great to be back, and I look forward to keeping you up to date.
I think he had me on. We can look to the beginning of time. The SKA is going down, and a large portion is happening right here in South Africa.